calling excellence, but instead will live long in the memory for all the wrong reasons, from questionable officiating decisions, VAR confusion, and a controversial walkout that stunned fans across the continent and beyond. Tonight on Pitch at Pulse, we look at what threatened to bring disrepute to the much anticipated final, the success of Senegal's disciplined march to the title, the challenges that expose deep cracks in the officiating and tournament management, and what AFCON 2025 truly means to Africa. Looks like ahead of the Pamoja Africa 27, a tournament that promises unity but must first deliver credibility. But first, we look at the local leagues and the memories of the rivalries being revived, the teams, the pressure points, and the stories that shape the title race. This is Pitch and Pulse, where Africa's football conversation begins.
Real fans, raw takes, and fearless football analysis straight from the pavement. No filters, no fluffs, just pure passion. Pitch and Pulse. Feel the game like never before.
Back home, the SportPesa League is alive again and it feels kind of familiar. Gor Mahia and AFC Leopards are right where Kenyan football loves them most, at the top. Trading blows, trading pressure, and dragging the fans back into the heat of the league. The rivalry is real, the stakes are high, and the atmosphere feels like the good old days. AFC Leopards are showing belief once again, and the momentum, but the question is unavoidable. Can Ingwe handle the weight of the expectations as Gor Mahia start to close in? Or with the Kogalo, do what they have done very many times before and turn pressure into dominance? And it's not just a two-horse race. Other teams are quietly circling. Points up are being picked and waiting for any slip-up at the summit. In a league this tight, one bad weekend can change everything. Tonight, we take the pulse of the SportPesa League, the title race, the pressure points, and the teams daring to crash the party. This is where rivalries are born. This is where the season starts and to reveal itself. On Pitch and Pulse tonight, we are having a conversation that nobody wants to avoid. We are having a conversation that everybody wants to be part of. And I am very glad to have to introduce two people who I always would say that I would rather be anywhere else, but be beside them. And you're going to make your very own introduction so that I don't go ahead of you. And just to remind you that we are on Facebook Live, we are on YouTube Live, and this is Pitch and Pulse that is broadcasting live from Exponential Media Africa Studios, and we are on Naivasha Road, and tonight on the second episode of the new year. Please, gentlemen, do introduce yourself and gloat as much as you can. Do whatever you want. You can pick your sides and allegiances as much as you could. Karibu sana.
Thank you, Noel, for giving me the opportunity to also grace the segment as always. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sika Adonis, as always, supporting Gor Mahia locally and here to celebrate the win that Senegal gave us. And Senegal showed us the pride of Africa and a successful AFCON tournament, despite the shenanigans that we had. I'll pass the microphone to Adisa.
Please.
Thank you so much. Good evening. Welcome to Pitchside Pulse. My name is Adisa, and I'm so much happy to be back again this new year, 2026. And being a full supporter of the Kenya Women Premier League, I'm so much happy to say that there's a lady called Halima Imbachi, captain under 17. Ameweza kuwa captain pale, ameweza kujoin the Kenya Police Bullets, and she's a guru, she's an icon, meaning that the Kenya Women Premier League is coming. Remember that the Kenya Police Bullets are on top of the table, and they're so much unstoppable with 28 points. Meanwhile, my name is Adisa Sharon. Call me the sports queen, and today we're going to reveal everything. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hata when you are making the introduction, I think I was nilikuwa najaribu kutayarisha koo because I was expecting a lot of Kiswahili introduction. I think 2 weeks is long enough for somebody. She was learning English, right?
Yes.
I love that. Very well. Thank you so much. I think we're going to dwell so much into the FKF Domestic League, which is going... we're going to look at the top flight league, that is the Sport Pesa League. And I want us to have a very quick rundown of the Sport Pesa League match results that we have Bandari United that piped to Leeds 1-0, and we have Shabana who beat Sofapaka after their draw with Goma here.
Yep.
We have Bandari who came back after their little bit of reorganizing from the administration.
Yeah.
They beat Tusker 2-1. And FC Leopards, which I think I could realign my conversation so that I let the producer talk me about FC Leopards. But I know that is a conversation for another time, that FC Leopards beat APS Bomet 2-1.
Right.
And those goals came at a
The
very...
dying seconds of the minutes.
Just say what you want to say, the annoying time,
yeah.
annoying minutes.
I've never been this disappointed. I saw AP Bomet winning that match.
No, actually, they won the match.
They won the match.
What happened?
In the dying seconds of the match, Kaloti pulled in a goal in the 96 minutes. And then in the 7 minute, FC won the match. 96 and the 97. And FC took home maximum points. After 90 minutes, they're exhausted. But again, credit them. It shows that they have something unique that most teams should eliminate. That is fighting spirit. You never give up until the final.
I can actually
whistle.
see that on your face. You're disappointed, but
Yeah, true.
we can
But again,
just play
credit to
with your
FC.
ego right
Yeah,
now.
credit to
But
FC
FC Leopards, kudos to you. The Muranga Seals actually came back from their big loss to Goma here, and the Sport Pesa Derby, would call it so.
Yeah.
And they beat Bidco 2-1. That is the good thing about football, because Bidco beat Gor Mahia earlier
At the
on
start of the
fair and
season.
square.
Yeah.
Gor Mahia beat Muranga Seals fair and square after
Yeah.
a very dramatic comeback, and
Yes.
now Muranga Seals are beating Bidco.
Yeah, and on resurgence, you see Muranga Seals, at the start of the season, the first leg, they were struggling. Some of us even tipped them to be going down. But if you look at the table, what really amazes me about this particular team is that they were able to take Gor Mahia toe-to-toe. They had the hands on Gor Mahia. They were choking Gor Mahia, actually. And then whatever happened, Juogi and Maya being Maya, they were able to turn around the result. And you see, they showed us in St. Sebastian what they are made of. They beat Bidco 2-1. So this tells you about there's something good cooking in Muranga Seal, and I believe this particular season.
Can I tell you what something good is cooking?
Yeah.
It is called King Osborne
Osborne Monday.
Monday football.
I wish they could be playing on Mondays.
I love that. And then you got Kakamega Homeboys after giving us what they do best, beating FC Leopard. They went to get their head and beat Kariobangi Sharks. The team were Kangundo Road.
Yeah.
And then Goma here beat Mara Sugar.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. We're not talking about Goma here. Please.
Routine.
Go, Kenya Police had a fair square with the Nairobi United. Remember, our resident guest Kausar was talking about Kenya Police and Nicholas Muyoti. I think there is a Nicholas Muyoti effect somehow. I hope they can stabilize police, and because Nairobi United is no pushover. This was a Nicholas Muyoti derby.
And you know, Nairobi went first. They scored first.
Yeah.
And then in the dying minutes of the game, Kenya Police pulled a goal back. It shows you that, Nicholas Muyoti had the know-how of Nairobi United the same way we predicted last week. And something interesting is that I wish you could check on the match highlights, the after-match comments from Salim Ali about him being the head coach while Nicholas Muyoti was there and he was his assistant. It brought a little bit of controversy. But again, it is what it is. They shared the spoils, and benefit to Gor Mahia. When rivals are dropping points, Gor Mahia is enjoying.
You know, you talked about Nicholas Muyoti and Salim Ali. I don't think I'm specifically put in a position that I'm supposed to discuss Salim Ali, because over and over in this particular show I've told you that Salim Ali is actually my football teacher. He was my instructor, my football instructor when I was doing my coaching courses. And I think that if I'm going to be stepping ahead, I will go back to that class and Salim Ali will point a finger at me and tell me,
won't give you a mark. But anyway,
I think it does make a lot of sense, Mr. CK, that we're seeing great people actually building that particular controversy and giving us a reason that we have to talk about them, because otherwise we can't just let everything flow.
Yeah, true.
And then besides that, KCB beat Posta Rangers
Yes.
1-0, and kudos to that was
Francis Carter.
Francis
Yeah,
Kahata.
Carter
That was
got
a
the goal.
beautiful one.
Yeah.
But I want us to start talking about something. Please give Sharon. I think I understand a bit of Kiswahili, or rather, I am comfortable with that, a bit of
Jamani, yani
Kiswahili.
you think I don't know English? Come on. Why are you insulting me in front of people? In front of FC Leopards fan? Why?
But you also think that I don't know Kiswahili.
Of course you
it's
don't
a fair,
know.
It's a 1-1, it's a goal kind of thing. Sharon,
Yes.
nataka uniambie kabisa, whichever language you want to speak, of course, you are not going to speak Kinyore here, but
Okay.
I'm asking you to give us a very good overview of the AFC Leopards, but the APS Bomet. APS Bomet almost came close to winning. Umesikia Sike ametaja hapo hivyo mbele that he had actually seen that was a win. And then what happened in the 87th minute? 7 minutes were added and FC Leopards, man.
That's a true symbolisis of momentum. I think FC Leopard wako na momentum flani hivi. And basically when the game was starting, personally I knew that APS Bomet are going to win. I knew it like
We all did.
the APS Bomet are going to win. But what do you mean by the end of the game the APS are disappointed and they Ingwe Matere are singing all over CBD? It was so disappointing, and that means the AFC Leopards kidogo wako sawa. We can all agree AFC wako sawa. They are good, and they are putting in the pressure yani ya players. Ushaona yani ukiwatch game unataka players wacheze waweke ile pressure yote.
I understand.
And
this.
I guess that's what the AFC Leopards are trying to do. And I remember since wapige Gor Mahia during the Mashemeji Derby, the Ingwe Matere kidogo wamekuja sana. So, questions are being raised. Will they really win this thing? Because, I've seen them. The Ingwe Matere are so much confident. Yes.
This is not a conversation I want because I'm going to go off script if I start thinking
It's
of
okay.
having the conversation of having FC Leopards given a chance to win. CK, just pick the mic and tell me, Samuel Molo Pamzo,
Yes.
your guy, former Gor Mahia player,
former
legend,
Poster, former Tusker.
former Poster Rangers coach.
Former Shabana.
He has always had every possible formula of beating AFC Leopards.
Yes.
Pamzo went all the way, 87 minutes. He was the match was 7 minutes were added to the match. And where do you think Samuel Molo Pamzo lost to AFC Leopards? Because even venye Adisa anasema, she never believed, nobody ever. I don't even know if the players or even Ambani believed that they were going to win
that particular match.
Yeah,
what I'm thinking,
do you think the referees knew that FC Leopards were going to win during that particular time?
No. I want you to look at the highlights of the match, and I want you to look at how Kaloti picked up that particular ball when he was given the through ball. You see, there is in football there is a very dangerous time for a team to lose the match, even if they are leading. You see, in the dying minutes of the game, normally psychologically,
the kitchen sink.
Yeah, exactly. The opponent is throwing the kitchen and sink, and psychologically, the defending team normally believes that they've already won the match. So if you see at that the goal that was scored by Koloti, I'll attribute it to lapse in concentration. One, two. The second goal was really a very nice pass, and it was a first own goal, by the way. And that's how they lost the match. So it's just you believing that we can do this. And then the opponent knowing that if we are able to contain you for the last 90 minutes, there's no way that you're going to beat us in the last minute. And a little twitch or lapse in concentration in football is a very it's a very huge impact.
That is true.
So that's why they normally say you concentrate from the start of the match until the end of the match. And again, I want you to look at most teams that are trailing during, even before we go into the dressing room for the halftime team talk. They normally get equalized in the 40-something minutes, the dying minutes of the game. I remember one Ghost Malay once saying that the dying minutes of the game are the most dangerous minutes of the game than any other time. That's why you see most teams normally equalize or get a goal in the dying minutes of the game.
I'm actually very much to talk about something about those dying minutes of the game, because we said that our feature story today is actually the AFCON, and we are really going to talk about the dying minutes.
Yeah.
And looks like the AFC Leopards have given us a reason to believe that football is not what I probably thought. It's not scripted. It's just something that is spontaneous. Yani inakuja tu. But being that it is the same story, and the same what you're talking about, the same resurgence, the same urge,
Yeah,
we contain
the same
you for
anger.
87 minutes, you score a goal. Seme Molo Pamzo wakina Rogers pale wanakaa wanaangalia ni kama hii ni yetu, tuwapiga dakika 87 and then hell happens.
Yeah, it's normally complacency from the team that is always leading, and it's always the determination from the team that is trailing and trying to get an equalizer or maybe to get a win. Yeah, I've seen a couple of matches across even the globe where teams have won titles in the dying minutes of the game.
I don't want to talk about Manchester United and Barcelona in 1999. That's a story for another day. We're going to talk about that conveniently. Give Sharon Adisa the microphone. Sharon Adisa, sorry for my language, Mr. Producer, but football bloody hell.
Yes.
Gor Mahia had their comfortable loss in the first 27 minutes against Muranga, still the Sport Pesa Derby, and then the match ended 3-0. We talked about that last week. We're not going to talk about this time. But Gor Mahia came, and they did so well that they had a very comfortable win against, is it Muranga? No, Muranga. Yeah, against Mara Sugar, the team from the team that plays currently at Awendo. You tell me something. We are talking about AFC Leopards, who are on a resurgence. Top of the table?
Gor Mahia are on top.
Yeah,
right now.
that's why I'm asking you. Top of the table. Are they going to be consistent? Because I don't like this whole idea. Okay, fine. Let me speak for CK.
It's okay,
This is now
it's okay.
CK talking.
Speak for him.
I don't like this idea
Okay.
of Gor Mahia falling behind AFC Leopards every other time. Could you just tell me that this is now the only last time Gor Mahia is going to be anything beyond position number one?
I think this is a two-horse battle, and I'm trying to say this: the Gor Mahia fans should be so much ready for anything, because I love how Gor Mahia players are doing amazing. For example, Felix Oloch ako among the top scorers.
Felix Oloch ukisema unampendaga.
Top scorers, I love him so much because he's doing amazing when it comes to the Kenya Premier League, and he's ako kwa hiyo race ya Golden Boot. But meanwhile, the Gor Mahia fans should be so much careful, kwa sababu anything can happen. This weekend they're gonna play Bidco United. Remember when they played during the first leg, they were cooked at Kasarani National Stadium. Meaning this weekend they need to put in their whole energy. And also I think that their coach Akonor akona pressure.
Yeah, true.
Akona pressure because we have AFC wako hapa nyuma. AFC wako hapa nyuma, and if they do any mistake, AFC are going to go maybe 3 points above them. So
speaking of that very point, they're talking about AFC Leopards.
Yes.
Adisa, tell me something. The last time Babaluya Football Club Babaluya Football Club Leopard Soccer Club won the Kenya Premier League, which is now christened the Sport Pesa League, was in 1998.
Yes, it's been a decade.
Tell me something. I'm 100% sure that Adisa, you might not have been born in 1998.
Come on, was that necessary? I'm old enough. Wacha mambo yako.
Okay, nimewacha.
Exactly.
What is giving these people the exact idea that probably they're going to give a challenge to Gor Mahia who are 21? Sikata kwambe unaona waita jaza Gor Mahia imeandikwa XXI.
Okay.
Okay, fine. That is a story for another day. Yes. What is telling you that AFC Leopards are going to have a challenge to Gor Mahia's title?
It's going to be a challenge because I think when you check at the squad and the energy and momentum at which the AFC Leopards are coming in with, they have a promising thing that maybe they're going to win this. But again, football carries a lot. Yeah. Football carries a lot. And remember, we are still in January. You can never predict who is going to win the title in January, right? So I think since FC wamekaa sana bila kubeba hii kitu and they're so much confident, they should be careful. They should continue putting in more effort because wakisleki kidogo, Gor Mahia, they're going to come in and go many points above them. We have Shabana. Despite the fact that we have Gor Mahia and FC, we also have Shabana.
Yeah.
We have the Kenya Police. Tuko na teams zingine huko nyuma. And since it's January, any team can come in and rise and they can deliver. And I've seen we have the KCB, the bankers, wako pale juu na
With the resurgence of Francis Kahata.
yeah, Francis Kahata. I remember when Kahata was coming in, I posted something on my page and I said Kahata is joining KCB. And everyone was like, is Kahata still playing? Meaning he's a good player. He has been playing for a decade. And being at KCB, I think the backers, they're going to deliver. But again, wako kwa ile form inapaswa kuwa.
Sure,
Yes.
sure.
It's not a form title winning form.
Exactly.
Adisa, we're looking at the table that Gor Mahia are at 33, sharing the same number of points with a slightly superior goal difference against FC Leopards.
Yes.
And Shabana is right there behind them with 3 points difference. And I'm thinking that is it actually really the right time to talk about, to call it home, that of the top 3 clubs, finally we're going to have a dominant community club again, because last season it was Police. Just give me your direct prediction of top 1, 2, 3. Are we going to have a dominant? Because right after that we have Kenya Police, we have KCB,
Yes.
we have Nairobi United breathing behind their backs. Of course,
Exactly.
Tuscan Bandari, Mathare, Posta Rangers, they're all breathing fire right behind the top 3 community clubs in Kenya.
I feel like the Kenya Premier League is so much intense. It's so much competitive. Na kwambianga game inaishanga hivi unasikia tayari leta table. Because you want to see who is nani yako hapo number 3 nani kwa number 2, because you know the Kenya Premier League is so much intense, like you never know what's going to happen.
Right,
a team
right,
that you're
right, right,
expecting
right.
it to win, it's
Right.
kuja ishuke. The same thing with Posta Rangers.
Right.
Now they are so much low. Muluya, I guess there's something wrong.
That is sorry, Kariobangi Sharks.
Sorry, Kariobangi Sharks. Sharks wako chini kabisa, and I'm like, I think the mentality of the players, there's something wrong with the players, whereby the coaches alikuwa anazungumza anasema kwamba they need to talk to the players because they need to deliver, kwa sababu wanaelekea relegation zone.
They're battling relegation.
I think before you say that, CK, because what you're going to say is actually you and I are kind of telepathic. What you're going to say is actually what I had in mind, because we talk about these the top leagues. I think the top teams in the league, and I'm thinking that this has spelled out what is really necessary for this particular segment. And something really worries me, that we have teams like Gor Mahia who are coming up on top. FC Leopards have defied all odds. Shabana, pardon me, they have been there, resilience going back, and Peter Okidi going through a lot of things.
Yeah.
And then suddenly there is the Mara Sugar coach, huh?
Yeah.
Manoa. In his interview, he says something that is very. I saw. I think I kind of call it silly, because he says that Gor Mahia have all the players that they needed, wameletewa pale na national team players and everything. He's giving us an excuse, not knowing that the same Manoa is the one who had beaten. Ni timu gani litaka kapiga
Leopard.
aliita kapiga fair square. So when it comes to Gor Mahia, then he suddenly realizes that there is an excuse that I'm supposed to. Can we have
but,
the same conversation
but-
that yes, when I win against FC Leopards, I
Yes.
won because of merit,
Yeah.
not
But
because
when
of
it goes to
probably
Gor
thinking
Mahia,
that
it's because-
ati kwa sababu ati luck. And then when it comes to Gor Mahia, then
It's,
then come on, you can do that.
But again, why do you have transfers then? Because transfers are meant to make you strengthen your squad and come in with proper players. So it goes down to your recruitment. If you don't recruit well, then be sure that you'll struggle throughout the season. But again, it's I'll call it paradoxical for you to beat teams such as FC Leopard that is topping the table, and then when it comes to Gor Mahia, you attribute your lose to the proper recruitment that Gor Mahia had, because we all are given the same chance during the transfer season. So it all goes down to you as a club, as a gaffer,
Right,
as a
right.
team. How are you doing your homework and strengthening your weakness and making sure that you
You
make
should
your
basically work around
Yeah.
all the resources that you have.
and I repeat, it doesn't make sense that when you beat a top side it goes down to you as a tactical gaffer. You want us to clap for you. We call you a shrewd gaffer. But when it comes to the other side, you'll attribute the win to a recruitment. I call those scapegoats, or maybe just finding excuses to.
I got to ask you something.
Yeah.
Probably I could be wrong, but there is something that always when you get to learn psychology in communication, probably Manoa was not actually directing that sentiment at us fans, and probably he was directing it as his employers.
Yeah, true.
Do you think so? He was probably giving an excuse to his employers.
There is a Swahili word that says atimbazi akikosa kuzaa usingizia jua.
Anasingizia kila kitu
So
mpaka
I
jua.
could just say that when Manoa failed to deliver, he now rolls the ball to the
Manoa ndo
management.
mbaazi anakuja anasingizia juu, anasema kwamba simekosa kuzaa kwa sababu hivi ni Adisa. Sema Kiswahili.
Nakwambia nimeshtuka niko hapa na wahenga.
Wahenga
so
waamini.
having wahenga hapa, wahenga mnanishainia why? But nimesikia Sike akizungumzia kitu about transfer. I think coaches akipewa akona time, transfer window ikiwa open, anajua ile weakness iko kwa timu yake. Basically he needs to make the right choices. Remember that Nairobi United ambao saizi wako pale, wako top 5.
Wako tu hapo karibu tu. Wako hapa karibu tu.
Wameweza kusaina Benson Omala, Harambee Stars ataka, ambaye ameweza kurudi. So I think Nairobi United kidogo watakuwa threat kidogo, because brothers are there. We have Dankon Omala and we have so it's Omalas are there, and of course this weekend I think they are going to deliver kama watanza wote kwa first 11 against Azam pale Nyayo Stadium. I feel like they're going to deliver, so it's a good thing. I love the transfer window and how players are moving from one place to another. It's just amazing. Alafu pia ukiangalia players wengi ambao wame move in kwa teams zao, like Francis Kahata, they come in and they score immediately. They just show the stuff they are made of. Gold actually.
All right. Thank you very much. Sike, najua unawasha tu kabisa mpaka unataka kuongelelea hiyo story, but I want to move on very quickly to the NSL, which is the FKF National League. And Migori Youth, hata nianze kusema hii pole pole. Sorry. Migori Youth FC.
Yes.
Walipiga Naivas 1, 2, 3, 4. Na hii kwa mpira imechezwa home ground ya Migori Youth, but imechezwa away. So they piped Naivas 4 goals. Migori Youth are a threat. Usiongelele Migori Youth kwanza. Equity Bank kwenye walicheza their match against Guche Stars, who are the newbies in the NSL, walipata 3-2 win against Gucha. And then there's Vihiga United. Adisa, you're not talking about Vihiga United. Walifanya MCF 3-1. And then there's Soy United. That was a very big prospect, and they're doing so well. And they beat Nzoia Sugar. Waliwapiga just 2-0. And then there's Mwatata United. Pipe Talanta FC 2-1. Mombasa United walikuja walialika Kibera Black Stars wakawapiga 2-0. The Nairobi City Stars drew 1-1 with Kisumu All Stars. CK, I'm not allowing you to talk about Kisumu All Stars because of emotions and everything. Kisumu All Stars is not some team that we expect to be this bad, because consistently for the past 3 years Kisumu All Stars has been disappointing. Kabati Youth welcome Darajani Gogo wakapiga 1-0. Fortune Sacco got welcomed by the same sponsors as Migori Youth wakapiga 3-1. And then Luanda Villas, unajua hii inaitwa nini? Hii kizungu inaitwaje? Producer nisaidie. Peninsula Derby. Hapo Kisumu. Sijui nini. Hapo hapo Majengo, Kisumu, wapi? Hapa hii highway ya Kakamega.
Yes.
Kakamega Highway Derby.
Exactly.
Luanda Villa were welcomed by Michael Olunga Foundation, and then they beat Michael Olunga Foundation. They were beaten by Michael Olunga Foundation 4-2. Michael Olunga Foundation is a very, I would say, a very organized team, and they've been giving us the results. Let me give you 1 minute so that you can just give a quick overview. Adisa will get her 1 minute so that we can wrap this up and talk about the most important football tournament in the African continent. Just wrap it up in 1 minute, the FKF National Super League.
It's building up nicely, the way that we projected it to be from the beginning of the season. I tipped Naivas to actually perform very well this season, but again, I see the ship is sinking. It's sinking, and looks like things are going not the way that we expected. Migori Youth have now stepped up. I think now the sponsorship we can say the sponsorship is playing a role. And then again, if you look at 3K Sacco, the same sponsors with Migori Youth have done really well. And of course, the team that is an example and a benchmark to the rest of the teams in the league and the country, that is Michael Oluka Foundation. See what they are doing. They beat Luanda Villa 4-2. So it tells you that there is a lot of competition down in the NSL, and whichever team that will be climbing up to the top flight will be on merit and will be giving the top boys a really good competition.
All right.
And of course, being biased and being that I come from home and so is from home, I'm proud that we won 2-0. That is so united.
I am proud that we won 2-0. At least I give you a summary because I think CK loves football too much that he puts his emotions ahead of everything. Mara moja unampata na reason, lakini ikifika mali ya football utanisamehea. Wrap it up, the FKF National Super League, and then we go for a quick wrap up on the women's FKF Women's League.
My biggest match, we had Migori Youth playing, and speaking to the coach actually wa Migori Youth, alisema the next upcoming 2 seasons, Migori Youth will be unstoppable.
Do you believe that?
I will underline that in capital letters.
I have underlined it, capital letter, put bold.
They will be unstoppable. I loved their match during the weekend. That was an amazing match. Again, we had Soy. Okay, I always congratulate Soy because I've seen them progress step by step, and I think they're doing amazing. Courtesy of Siambi. I have a friend of mine, ni Gafaku, aniseme ni biggest camera person wa kule So United, and I think they're just doing amazing. So when it comes to the NSL, I feel like they're doing amazing. Alafu, I love how they are scoring goals.
Yeah, true.
They're scoring goals. See, utenda uone nil 90 minutes mlikuwa mnafanya nini, guys? But I just love how they are progressing amazing. And when it comes to the Michael Olunga Foundation, again,
Right.
the way they are progressing is just good. So let's keep a watch.
I think, Jeff, I'm just going to give a little summary of what you're talking about. Adisa, is that the whole thing is that you just love how they're scoring goals. I think you're just trying to say that Migori Youth are good. In very many words. Thank you very much. The National Super League next fixtures, we have Michael Olunga Foundation are inviting Zoya Sugar. Gucha Stars are inviting Kabati Youth. Vihiga United are inviting Mombasa United. Migori Youth are inviting Luanda Villas. That's a very tough match, and are expecting a lot of crackers. Talanta FC, after their loss, are inviting Equity Bank, who won. Darajani Gogo lost and are inviting Fortune Sacco. So United are inviting Matate, and Kisumu All Stars are playing MCF. Kibera Black Stars are also inviting Naivas, and we are looking for a big firecracker of the NSL. I do remember some time back we talked about NSL and said that this is a football league where a competition where there is a lot of raw energy, raw passion, and pure talent, and we're expecting to look at that in the future, and we expect the best team or maybe 2 teams that are going to come to this Premier League to give us exactly what we really need. Let's move on very quickly to the FKF Women's League, and we talk about rivalry and the rhythm of the Women's Football League in Kenya, and we're going to talk about the Police Bullets, who beat Kayole Stars 4-0, Gideon Starlets had a draw with the Soccer Assassins, Kisped Queens were beaten by Zetek Sparks 3-1, Kisumu All Starlets still drew 2-2 with the Trinity Stars, and the Ulinzi Starlets, unfortunately, after they had taken all those goals from Kibera Soccer Women, they managed to put the revenge. And I am not a happy person trying to report that, in as much as I need to be objective.
You have to smile. Please try.
You know, you can never, if you are a widow or a widower, you can never smile at the funeral of your spouse.
Wow.
That is English.
So, you know...
Vihiga Queens also drew with Bungoma Queens. Give me a wrap-up very quickly, Adisa, and then CK is going to give me his summary of the women's FKF Women Premier League.
The first time Vihiga Queens played with Bungoma Queens when the season was starting, the Vihiga Queens cooked Bungoma Queens vizuri, lakini mechi ikaisha in a draw. Alafu my biggest match ilikuwa hata si Kenya Police Bullets, Ulinzi Starlets versus Kibera Soccer Women. The match was just amazing. Let me say, Ulinzi Starlets, they have talents. They have talents. Wale ni soldiers, right? They're also soldiers. I love how they are trying to. They tried to give the Kibera Soccer Women 2 bullets. Najua ilikuwa rahisi, lakini sorry, utahili pole pole.
Why are you saying that so passionately? Like it's supposed to be something that.
Alafu.
I mean, seriously.
Come on.
Okay,
relax.
Wrap it up.
The Kenya Police Bullets, they have become so much. Ni kama wamekuwa threat. Because why are you cooking Kayole Starlets for?
It was not necessary.
Come on. The Kenya Police Bullets, the way CK, wewe ulikuwa unasema alikuwa CK, alisema kwamba I think Police Bullets wanapaswa kupata challenge. Yeah. They need to get a challenge because they are dominating a lot.
True.
Yes.
All right, thank you very much, CK. I think give me as you give me your overview of the summary of the matches that we had. Of course, a big win for Police Bullets. There's a very big win for Ulinzi Stars against Kibera Soccer Queens, and then Vihiga Queens also. I'm looking at the next fixtures. We have the ZTEC that are going to face the Police Bullets, who Adisa is saying that you have actually opined that they're very good talent in football. They have every resource that they have. The Kayole Stars and the Gideon Starlets. That's another very interesting match. That this I think you should come on Thursday and give us a very good summary of this particular match. The Kayole Starlets and the Gideon Starlets. There is something about this particular match. The Kibera Soccer Queens are going to invite Vihiga Queens in Nairobi for that particular match. The Soccer Assassins are going to invite the Kisumu All Stars. Kisped Queens are going to invite Ulinzi Starlets. Almost predictable match, unless I want to be very wrong about the results of that Kisped and Ulinzi match. And then the last one is the Bungoma Queens and the Trinity Starlets. Give us your prediction, CK, and then you just a quick summary of that league, and then we go to our main feature story that happened in Marrakesh, in Rabat, and the biggest soccer show in Africa. Just to remind you that we are broadcasting at the Exponential Media Africa studios. This is a Pittsburgh Pulse, and we are streaming live on Facebook. We are streaming live on YouTube, and I have my host here, the most football reasonable people that I've ever sat alongside, CK Adonis, who is passionate about football, and also Malkia wa soka. Maana nasema kwamba football ni kitu kingine, o Malkia wa sporti. Football ni the second sweetest thing in the planet. CK,
just jump in. Historically, routine, Police are going to beat ZTEC. That is, I'll give a scoreline of maybe 3-0. Kayole Starlets versus Gideon Starlets, that could end up in Kayole Starlets having a home advantage of 2-1. Kibera Soccer Queens versus Vihiga Queens. Vihiga being a team that is trying to give challenge to Police Bullet, I'll give them a score win of 2-0. Soccer Assassin versus Kisumu Starlets. Kisumu Starlets aren't really performing the way you expected this season, and I see Soccer Assassins winning 2-1. K-Speed and Ulinzi will take the day by winning 3-1, and Bungoma Queens and Trinity, I see Bungoma getting a 1-0 scoreline.
All right, thank you very much for that optimism, and I look forward to that. And I think directly I will have to influence my producer to actually make sure that Adisa, you go to this particular match, the Kayole Starlets and the Gideon Starlets, and give us that particular result. You can give us a whole action of the game as it has happened. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We have wrapped up our local league, and I want us to move very fast straight into the international platform, where we're talking about the Africa Cup of Nations, the biggest football bonanza that had happened in Morocco. We went Casablanca, we went to Marrakesh, we went to all the beautiful cities of the Arab town in North Africa, and we saw real football. Actually, somebody made an opinion that there is an advancement of football that has happened in this AFCON 2027, that if Kenya blinks, then we might not even get to play a match at the Raila Odinga Stadium in that is in Jamhuri, because the level of football has stepped up. But I wanted to start straight away. There was a final match that happened. I want us to give our attention to this particular final match that happened. Senegal beat Morocco, the hosts, with all the superstars, Brahim Diaz, we had Ashraf Hakimi. I mean, everybody, Yasin Bono, there
Yusuf
were
Al-Nasiri.
beautifully football decorated players there. And there was something about that particular match. Man, they had a standstill for 10 minutes, and those
Yeah.
particular 10 minutes were amazing because there was push and pull. There was the captain, there was the coach who actually led a walk away from the stadium, called the player and told them that if you're not going to do this, come on, let's get out of the pitch.
Yeah, true.
But it took one player or maybe two. I would call out Sadio Mane,
Yeah, true.
the
A
Liverpool
legend.
legend. He
The
played
hero.
at Southampton. He's
Yeah.
now in the Arab countries.
Al Nassr.
And then there was the president of the Yasin Bono. Let's give
Yes.
him his flowers.
Yeah, true,
They
true.
had to make sure that the players got back to the
Yeah,
pitch. And
yeah.
I mean, what happened?
Whatever happened, happened. I want to call out the likes of Gary Neville and Rio Ferdinand. Those that believe Jimmy Carragher, those that believed that African Cup of Nations is just any other type of match, and they never actually agreed that AFCON is actually one of the biggest matches in the world. They've For the longest time, we've seen that people are looking down upon the most biggest tournament in the world. But I believe as we headed into the quarters and the semis and the semi-final, a lot of people were tuned in to make sure that they watched and enjoyed the show. This is because actually the turnout, the number of people that were there, the fans, the players and everyone. I've always said that AFCON is one of the only tournament in this world that you can see people showcasing their culture. When I say people are showcasing their culture, I'm talking the likes of DRC having their fans who are there in the studio, in the stands, and making sure that Africa remembers someone like Paul Lumumba. When I'm talking about culture, I'm talking about Nigeria, for example. Nigeria had some of the best decorations in the AFCON. We had some of the best music in the AFCON from the Nigerian team. When I'm talking about culture, I'm talking about Morocco and the Islamic culture that they're putting on. So yes, in as much as AFCON had its pitfalls, and a lot of people tend to believe that AFCON is not a big tournament, Morocco staged a very good tournament, despite of the small hiccups that were there, to show that this is actually the tournament to watch. And mark you, come 2027, people will see something else different from AFCON, unlike what we've always been seeing in any other countries. And just to jump in, and now to respond to the question that Noir, my host, has asked, what happened? What happened is that I want us as Africa to try and move forward, and not move forward one step and move forward one step. Because you see, after we played in Ivory Coast, a lot of people say that AFCON is actually the best when it comes to officiating. It's a benchmark. It's something that people should be emulate. But when we went to Morocco, it was the opposite. We've seen a lot of favorism happening to the hosts. I don't know if this is a conspiracy between CAF to see that if you are the host, you are given the chance to lift the cup. We even saw what Algeria said about Morocco when they lost, that it's actually, there is nothing that hurts you losing a tournament that you've already paid for. So, and this is attributed because of what we've seen, the controversy that came in with officiating. During the Tanzania match against Morocco, there was a panel that wasn't even checked on VAR. During the Cameroon and Morocco match, there was also 3 incidents where players were elbowed, which is a deliberate elbow that should lead to a bookable offense, but those particular Moroccan players were not elbowed. And then when coming to the final, the referee just disallowed a goal without even taking some few minutes to go and check on VAR, just to clear the doubts from the fans. And then within 90 minutes, you go ahead and give a penalty. There is where the controversy started. You see, if the referee had taken 2 minutes to go and check the goal before disallowing it on VAR, we wouldn't have seen what we saw on the final.
Adisa, I don't like the conspiracy that CK is spewing around.
Yes.
Because it borders a little bit of controversy, which probably is not something that football actually demands right now. And probably when you talk about that, I'm really thinking that, is it really right that we come and sit on this show and talk about a penalty that was deserved? Unless you have a different opinion, that is talking about a penalty that was not deserved. A penalty is a penalty. And we'd always talk about the whole idea that if a referee makes a decision, then we give him all the reasons to believe that he's the referee. He's the one who is in charge, and he's made a decision. Of course, we can always have opinions. And then the match was the penalty was given to Brahim Diaz, and when the penalty was given to what was that? Do you share the same opinion of the conspiracy that he does?
Honestly,
because I don't think I would be really impressed if you we are going to sit here and trade conspiracies that have no evidence.
Honestly, first when I check how Brahim Diaz alipiga hiyo penalty, he's a key player. Hizo ni nini? What are those? What hizo zilikuwa manini hizo alikuwa anafanya? Hizo ni what those honestly. Brahim Diaz coming in at the end of the tournament, winning medal, actually was the best player, top scorer.
He is the top
scorer. Unapiga je penalty kama hiyo? This is the finals. Finals unaambia keeper, hebu chukua hii. But meanwhile, the Lions of Teranga, I want to say congratulations because bana coming out, they deserved each and everything.
But I believe, Adis, that as much as possible, Morocco deserved everything. In as much as we are going to talk about the all football shows, Morocco are a team that have, I would use the word, beautiful talent of players. We can never wish Nasir Mazraoui, we can never wish Ashraf Hakimi, we can never wish away the midfielders, and of course, yes, in Bono, Brahim Diaz, we have a beautiful barrage of players, and they're not, it's not like, in as much as I'm going to talk about the conspiracy of CK, we're not going to talk about the whole idea that Morocco has been playing good football if we watched every match of the AFCON.
Morocco
probably they just never had what I don't want to talk about, that football luck, but Morocco stood tall.
They stood tall, actually. Okay, come on. You see,
I'm challenging the whole idea of Senegal.
They stood tall. Okay, they played. But you know, this is football. We need to have some sort of transparency and accountability. First of all, I will say no to the officiating. Those referees, munafaa wapewe brufen, kwa sababu I don't like what they did, honestly. The officiating when it comes to AFCON, exactly, when it comes to officiating, the referees, I don't like that actually. And the same thing, I saw the Tanzanians complaining a lot. Niliona mwingine alilia kabisa kwa sababu mbona mnafanya hivyo. That is AFCON. And when it comes to AFCON, we want to reach to those levels here, World Cup and all those, you know. And the main reason we are inaletwa ni juu kama kuna mistake, the referee has each and every reason to go and check first before making a decision. But again, players kutoka kwa kiwanja, come on. I feel like players and we should be having a say when it comes to referees making wrong decisions. What do you mean you are making a wrong decision and you want us to keep quiet about that? This is a match and you know there are consequences about that. Actually, when it comes to AFCON, mkitoka kwa kiwanja before match ishe, there are consequences about that. But when you check at Senegal, they came back. So I don't think kama wako na reason kubwa ya wale wakubwa kuwa suspend because they came in back, they played and they won the match.
But Adisa, they actually gave a reason that they were actually contemplating bullying or twisting the administrators and the management of the African football. I mean, you walk out of the pitch led by your coach, which of course takes the opponent players, Yassine Bono and Nasser Mazraoui, and of course Sadio Mane, to call you back into the pitch. And Sadio said that I could hear the mime, I could see the mime that we come back, we can actually win this. I could see the mime in his mouth. I mean, why do you think Senegal don't deserve to African football in? I mean, we've seen wrong football decisions.
Yes.
But really, is that the way they're supposed to go? Yani, tunaingia twist the management of football so that they can give us what we deserve.
Boys were able to come into the pitch and they were able to win, right? What I'm trying to say here is that bwana Isaac, ni kwamba lazima kwa hizi mechi kukuwe na transparency and accountability.
Senegal deserved the win because
exactly.
They had a very good goal. Gueye had a very good cracker, and he almost had a second. I think just football, that is just, like we said, the CKL
of the pitch, and there were no sanctions that were given. I want CAF to be fair. I want FIFA to be fair. We should not be looking at one side of the coin when an African team from the sub-Saharan team does a mistake. It's magnified and projected to be seen as the, when you are striking the law, it's like tunasema sheria ni msumeno, inakata mbele na nyuma. Isikate tu mbele na isikuwe inakata nyuma.
But I got to ask you something, as you very much articulate
na isikuwe inakata nyuma.
But I got to ask you something, as you very much articulate, trying to correct that is going to happen. We are going to have a lot of walkaways.
Absolutely. And you see, and that's why I'm attributing to, there is a foundation to everything.
And I want to thank you very much, my producer, CK Odoyo Nyakwarmikwa, for having given us the opportunity to broadcast this particular session. Thank you very much, Ian, for being on the studio with us on the technical. Thank you very much, Ward Shots. Thank you very much, Mike, for doing the graphics for us. And I've been your host, and I am urging us to meet again next time on Thursday, same time. We'll talk about African football. And right about now, we wish you very best, Gor Mahia and AFC Leopards. One of you, I'm very sure, will win the league for us by the end of this particular session. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for coming. I'm very sure that you would be disappointed. We would have had more time, but thank you so much for having this discussion. And until next Thursday, thank you so much. And I have been your host. I am Isaac, and until next time, I have to bid you goodbye.
This is Pitchside Pals, real fans, raw takes, and fearless football analysis straight from the pavement. No filters, no fluffs, just pure passion. Pitchside Pals, feel the game like never before.